Good morning, guys. Today we have really fun music and movement in store for you. This is week 3. I hope you guys are keeping up with your reading, watching our programming, all that fun stuff. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to throw up Can You Sing High on the PowerPoint there. And a quick reminder, the words on the left side of the screen in black, that's my line. And then the words on the right side of the screen highlighted in yellow, those are your lines. And I'm going to play both parts, and it'll sound like this. Can you sing high? Can you sing low? Can you sing fast? Can you sing slow? Are you ready? Are you set? Let's go. Yeah, that one's always fun. It's a whole lot more fun when you guys can be here, but I know you guys are having fun at home. We're having fun making these recordings, and that's what it's all about. Keep having fun reading through the summer, all that fun stuff. So, I just said fun a whole lot in a couple of sentences. The next thing we're going to do is announcements. On Mondays, we'll start off with music and movement in the morning. That's what you're watching now. Every Monday, 10:30. And then in the afternoon, we have a Super Smash Brothers tournament. If you have a Nintendo Switch, you have Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, you can join into our online lobby. Then Tuesdays, we have story times in English at 10:30 and in Spanish at 11:30. Wednesdays, we have performers who are sending us virtual content, and their videos will be available on Wednesday mornings. Thursdays, we have Lego challenges in the afternoon, so be sure you're participating in those Lego challenges each week. We'll give a new theme, and winners for each age group for favorite submissions on the theme. We'll get a Lego prize package, and then we'll show those on the Lego video as well as the new challenge, and we'll read a book. So stay tuned for that. Then on Fridays we have teen content. I'm very excited about this week. This week is Dungeons & Dragons, hosted by yours truly, and we're going to be using Roll20 for that, and so keep an eye out for the details. We'll use a couple of different websites for our chat and all that stuff, but teens, ready to see you in some Dungeons & Dragons. And then on Saturday, we'll have our Imagine Your Story event, and so keep an eye out on those videos. Be sure that you're watching all of our videos and commenting and watching in our live watch parties and on our premieres on our website so that you can get entered into plenty of chances to win prizes. Make sure you're doing your reading challenges so that you can be entered into those raffles to win those prizes. And everybody likes prizes, so let's get as many of those as we can. And let's move on. We're going to keep singing. We're going to start with the Hokey Pokey. So everybody stand up, get ready to dance, and we're going to start with our left hand. We're going to put our left hand in. Okay? Let's get going. Put your left hand in, you take your left hand out, you put your left hand in, and you shake it all about. You do the Hokey Pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your right hand in, you take your right hand out, you put your right hand in, and you shake it all about. You do the Hokey Pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your left leg in, you take your left leg out, you put your left leg in, and you shake it all about. You do the Hokey Pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Right leg, you put your right leg in, you put your right leg out, you put your right leg in, and you shake it all about. You do the Hokey Pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Whole self, you put your whole self in, you take your whole self out, you put your whole self in, and you shake it all about. You do the Hokey Pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Yeah, that one's always fun. Everybody likes dancing the Hokey Pokey. All right, so now we're going to do another one. Lots of movement today. We're going to do If You're Happy and You Know It. Okay, so get ready to clap your hands, stomp your feet, shout hooray, and do all three. Okay? All right, now we're going to do all three. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp. That one's always fun. I like playing around at the end. Okay, so now our last song we're going to do is called My Bonnie. And this one is super fun. I always like to do it 2 or 3 times to have a few different activities involved. But I'm just going to put the slide up on the screen. We'll do it one way. And then I encourage you to come back and listen to it a few more times and try it a few different ways. So what we do is we have an activity that we do every time we sing the letter B. And you can see by the slide, there are lots of letter B's in this song. And they get a little faster toward the end. So we're going to start, easy peasy, raise your hand. You can pick whichever hand you want. If your hand is already in the air when you sing a letter B, you put it down. Okay, so let me see. So it'll be like, my Bonnie lies over the ocean, my Bonnie lies over the sea, like that, okay? So let's try it. My Bonnie lies over the ocean, my Bonnie lies over the sea, my Bonnie lies over the ocean, so bring back, let me sing the words right, so bring back my Bonnie to me, bring back, oh bring back my Bonnie to me, bring back, oh bring back my Bonnie to me. There you go. And so you can go back and listen to that a few times and then try it with your other hand. You can try it switching hands. You can even try it standing up and sitting down. That one's a workout. And then if you get pretty good at it and you don't need the song anymore, and you can do it at home, you can try making it a competition and see who can sing it faster standing up and sitting down. That's how we used to do it in my choir class. Okay, so now we're going to go into an instrument lesson about the piano. The piano is a really cool instrument, and it's got some little techniques that you can learn to make it a little more approachable. There's a whole lot of keys on it, a whole lot of buttons to push, a whole lot of things to mess with, but I'm going to give you guys a lesson to get you started, so have fun with that. Okay guys, today we're going to talk about the piano, and you can see here I have all these notes showing on our screen, and this is just a little section of the piano. This is just from middle C and the B below it, all the way up to the next G. This is G5 up here, and then the A above it. And so today we're going to use this, mostly from this note to this note, to talk about how we play the piano. And the first place to start with that is with the musical alphabet. So the musical alphabet is weird. It doesn't usually start with A, it usually starts with C. Now we can think about it as starting with A just so that we can say the notes, but we're going to come back to starting with C. So I'm going to start with A, and I'm going to say B, C, D, E, F, G, and then I'm going to start over, and the next note is A. So that's kind of weird. We start over at G. It's because there are only 7 notes when we're only counting the white keys. If we count the black keys, we start saying flats and sharps and stuff like that, and we end up with 12 total. But with just the letter names, we only have 7. And so once we get to the 7th letter, which is G, we start over with A. So let's do that again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A again. Okay? So now if we go back to C, then we can do that same thing and just know when we get to G, we're going to start over with A after that. So we'll start with C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And what I just did there is kind of the first building block of playing the piano. It's called a major scale. And we're going to start a little bit before that, but we're eventually going to try to build up to this major scale. It goes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then we can learn to play it backwards and go C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now before we do that, we're going to talk about a home position. And this is the same thing whenever you learn to use a keyboard. It's going to, you'll learn that your fingers need to rest kind of in the same position every time. Same thing with this. Our home position in C major, which is the key that we're playing in today, is just like this. We have our thumb on C, and we can find that by looking at the black keys and seeing that there are 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 all the way up and down the keyboard. So we find the 2 and then go to the left and put our thumb on it, and that's C. And then the next note is D, and then E, F, and G. And so we have C, D, E, F, G, just like that. And with this, we start to learn the real first step, which is called 5-finger patterns. Say that back. 5-finger patterns. So today we're going to use some 5-finger patterns to learn a song after we've learned some of these first tricks. But if you have a piano at home and you're practicing, what I would start with is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it. Just that way you learn that your fingers have numbers. You learn that you can go in order from your thumb to your pinky and back, and it's an easier pattern than trying to start with a scale. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And practice that a whole lot. Now you can also do that with your left hand. And so instead of starting with your thumb on C, start with your pinky on C. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to G. C, D, E, F, G. And so with my left hand, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, except 1 is always your thumb. So really I'm counting backwards whenever I go up. I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the only reason we do that is because that way, since your hands are like a mirror image of each other, our thumbs are always 1, our index fingers are always 2, our middle fingers are always 3, our ring fingers are always 4, and my pinkies are always 5. So let me try that again with my left hand. I'll even start on G so I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But I'm going to go down first instead of up first. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so then if I try to do it with both hands at the same time, if I want to count the numbers, then it'll look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If I wanted to count the notes by their letter names, I could start on C at the same time and go C, D, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C. Just like that. So that's playing some 5-finger patterns. Now some other patterns that we can play with our fingers are called chords, and that's when we play more than one note at the same time. So I want to show you how to play exactly what I just played there. It's a very common chord pattern, and it's one that you'll use a lot if you learn to play the piano very much. So the first one is we start in our home position. This is for a C major chord. We start in our home position in C major, our thumb on C, and then D, E, F, G. And if I play 1, skip 2, play 3, skip 4, and play 5, all at the same time. Then I get C, E, G, and that's a C major chord, just like that. Now, the next chord I want to play is an F major chord. I have to move out of my home position to play this one. It's a little tricky. So I'm going to use the same 3 fingers, 1, 3, and 5. I'm just going to scooch 3 and 5 over. And that is F major. It's F major over C, and so if you study music theory, you'll get a lot more into that kind of stuff. But we're just going to call this one F major for now. And we're going to move them back over to C major. Okay, so let's try that little move. C, and then F. Scooch back for C, scooch back for F, scooch back for C. And then the next one I want to play is called a G7 chord. And I'm going to play that one with 1, 4, and 5. I'm going to play F and G just like that. I'm going to scooch 1 over and play the B below C there. So I'm going to play that note, or that chord, and then pinch back to C. G7, C. And so then if I want to play them all together, I can go C, E, G, scooch for F major, scooch back for C again, scooch my thumb over for G7, and then pinch back for C. I can do the same thing with my left hand. So I've got C, E, G with 1, 3, and 5. And then I can open up and do 1, 2, and 5 for F. And the reason I do that is because my 2 is already on F, and I just have to scooch 1 over. And so that's kind of like the G7 chord. I'm just moving only what I have to reach the chord. And then if I wanted to play G7, I'll scooch my pinky over and bring my thumb back to G. And so now I'm still playing 5, 2, and 1. And I can come back to 1, 3, and 5. Just like that. So if I wanted to play them all together, I would do C, 1, 3, and 5. And then switch to F with 1, 2, and 5. And slide that thumb out. Slide back for another C chord. And then slide my pinky down and play 1, 2, and 5 again for G7, and then come back to home for C, skipping 2 and 4. that easy. And I can even try to play them together. I can play C, E, G, C, F, A, C, E, G, B, F, G, C, E, G. And there we go. Isn't that cool? Now I'm going to show you the last thing before our song. I'm going to show you how to play a major scale. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to play C, D, E. Okay, that's the first part, just C, D, E. Then I want to set myself up to finish the scale as easily as possible. I've got 5 fingers, and I've got 5 notes left in the scale. So after I hit E, I'm going to do a turn. And that's where I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to slide it under my middle finger and put it on F. So I'm going to do that again. C, D, E, and then I'm going to turn to F. And now I'm set up. G, A, B, C. And I finished the whole scale. Let's try it again. C, D, E, turn for F, G, A, B, C. And then if I come back down the scale, C, B, A, G, F, and now I've got to go back with my middle finger and play those last 3 notes. So this time, instead of turning my thumb under, I'm going to turn my middle finger over. E, D, C. If I put it all together, C, D, E, turn, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, turn, E, D, C. And there you go. With my left hand, it's going to be a little different because I still want to turn with my middle finger and my thumb. So I'm just going to do it later, but it's kind of the same but backwards. I'll show you. I play C, D, E, F, G, and now I'm on my thumb. That's a good place to pivot so I can turn my middle finger over A, B, C, because I've got 3 fingers to work with and 3 keys left to play. And then when I come backwards, I'll play C, B, A. Middle finger's a good place to turn. I'm going to swap over to G with my thumb because then I have 5 notes left to play with my 5 fingers. G, F, E, D, C. I play it all together. C, D, E, F, G, turn A, B, C, C, B, A, turn G, F, E, D, C. And so you got to watch that kind of thing with turning. You got to figure out, with practice, you get good at turning the right amount of space. Your fingers will just do it on their own. And sometimes they'll go a little too far like mine did. All right, so the last thing I want to show you is a song. We're going to put those things together. We're going to use our 5-finger pattern in our right hand, and we're going to use our chords in our left hand. And we're going to play a song most of you guys probably know, Itsy Bitsy Spider. It's going to be a little bit different just so that it all fits in one hand. But it goes like this. We're going to start with our C major chord, and we'll play our melody over here. Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Out came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Okay, so we're just using our C major chord and our G7 chord in our left hand, and so we have to figure out when to use that. So first one I'm going to show you is the 5-finger pattern. Okay, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Okay, then we kind of do the same thing, but with the top fingers. 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 3. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. And then we go back and do the same thing we started with. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And we just do it again. itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. So once you kind of get the hang of those, it's pretty easy to put them together because you're really only doing two different things. And then the same thing with these fingers. And you just have to do them at the right times. And then if you have the right chords, it sounds like this. And there you go. So that's your first piano lesson, and we are going to move on to a story about the piano. Actually, I think I hear inside the piano, it sounds like an animal? Are those bears in the piano? Did you know that inside every piano there is a tall house with 3 stories? A basement on the bottom, a ground floor in the middle, and a top floor with a bedroom. And in this house there lives a family of 3 bears. On the bottom floor, Big Papa Bear is exercising on the treadmill. Can you walk in place like you are on a treadmill too? Papa Bear sounds a bit cranky. Perhaps he hasn't had his morning coffee yet. Let's leave him to his exercise and explore the rest of the house. On the middle floor, Mama Bear is typing something on her computer. Maybe she's watching the Library video story time. Can you pretend to type on a keyboard like her? Well, Mama Bear seems busy. Let's go upstairs and see what's happening on the top floor. At the very top of the house, in his upstairs bedroom, little baby bear is jumping on his bed. That looks like fun. Let's jump with him. Thanks for jumping with us, baby bear. So, if you ever see a piano, listen for the bears that live inside and the sounds they make. Papa. Mama. And baby. One big, happy family. I guess that's how a piano works. Papa Bear makes the low sounds, Mama Bear makes the middle sounds, and Baby Bear makes those high sounds. And so now we're going to use the piano, put those bears to work, and sing our closing song. So everybody put your hands together. We're going to sing The More We Read Together. The more 'cause books make us smarter, and smart kids go farther. The more we read together, the smarter we'll be. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you learned a little about the piano and enjoyed singing our songs. And now we're going to sing See You Later, Alligator. I'll put that slide up so you can see the animals. And here we go. See you later, alligator, bye-bye, butterfly. Give a hug, ladybug, be sweet parakeet. Blow a kiss, goldfish, see you soon, raccoon. Take care, polar bear, out the door, dinosaur. All right, thanks again for joining me, guys, and we'll see you alligators later.